Welcome to Sun and Moon Stories, a storytelling podcast for kids, but it also appeals to parents, teachers, language learners, and story lovers in general. I'm Ngọc Diệp, a language teacher and a mom who loves telling stories in both Vietnamese and English. My dear suns and moons, the story that I'll tell you today is a Jewish folk tale about the unexpected life of a blue cloth and a grandfather's love for his grandson. And here it is, the story of the blue coat. Once there was a family who longed for a child. For years and years, the family was excited about the possibility of a child being born. And of all the family, perhaps the most excited one was the grandfather. Finally, a baby was born. A baby boy. The whole family was so happy. And to celebrate, the grandfather, who was a tailor, went and bought a beautiful piece of blue cloth. It was as blue as the sky and as soft as silk. He took the blue cloth home and made a beautiful blanket out of it. With every stitch, he sent his love, his hopes and dreams for the baby. And when the baby was wrapped in the blanket, he felt like he was hugged, even when he was all alone in his cot. As the boy grew up, he got bigger, and he crawled around. He dragged the blue blankets everywhere with him. And then he started to walk, and soon he was able to run. He ran out in the sun. He played in the rain, and he rode in the snow. And he took his blanket with him all the time. As you can imagine, the blanket started to get dirty, and there were holes in it. Until one day, his mother said, "Oh dear, that blanket is all worn out. We'd better get it fixed." And she gave it back to grandfather. And grandfather said, "I can make something out of that." He took out his best scissors. He cut out the best part. Cut, cut, cut. And then he sewed, until finally he made the boy a beautiful blue coat. Oh, the boy, he loved the coat. He wore it all the time. He ran out in the sun, he played in the rain, and he rode in the snow. And as you can guess, one day the blue coat got old and dirty, and there were holes in it. His mother said, "Oh dear, that blue coat is all worn out. We'd better get it fixed." And this time, the boy took it back to grandfather. And grandfather said, "I can make something out of that." And what do you think he made this time? He took out his best scissors. He cut out the best part. Cut, cut, cut. And then he sewed, until finally he made the boy a beautiful hat. Oh, the boy, he loved the hat. He wore it all the time. He ran out in the sun, he played in the rain, and he rode in the snow. And as you can guess, one day the blue hat got old and dirty, and there were holes in it. He took it back to Grandpa, and Grandpa said, "Oh, I know you know very well what Grandpa would say." he said. I can make something out of that. But I wonder what he'll make this time. Well, as usual, he took out his best scissors. Oh, you must know the story by now. He cut out the best part. Cut, cut, cut. And then he sewed, until finally he made a blue button and sewed it onto the boy's shirt. Do you think the boy loved the button? Of course he did. He wore the shirt with a blue button on it all the time. He ran out in the sun, he played in the rain, and he rolled in the snow until the shirt was worn and the blue button was worn out too. He took it to Grandpa and sadly said, "Grandpa, the blue button is all worn out. Is there anything you can do? Is it the end of our blue coat?" What do you think Grandpa would do this time? Can he turn the blue button into something else? Well, Grandpa looked at the boy, smiled, and said, "No, it isn't. Now we can make a story and tell everyone about the blue cloth. And you know what? A story never wears out." So the boy and his grandpa recalled everything about the blue cloth from the day the boy was born. They remembered all the fun they had together and how much they loved each other. The boy loved the story. He told it to all of his friends, and they told their families and friends about the blue coat. And they kept on telling the story for many, many years. Until one day, someone told me about the blue coat. And so today, I'm telling that story to you. And I hope someday, maybe soon, you'll tell your friends and family that story. And that's how the blue coat lives on. My dear sons and moons, I was lucky to grow up with my grandfather. And in my memory, he was a kind-hearted man and a great storyteller. And this story makes me miss him so much. I hope you enjoyed it, and please share it with your friends and family when you have a chance. Thank you for listening, and see you next week.